Hello subscribers of my channel, viewers of this video. I would like to make a series of videos on, let's say, identifying a malfunction and repairing the machine means in this video I want to describe the chain. The sequence of those actions that must be performed to determine the malfunction of the generator or charger well, that is, everything related to charging our car well, so to speak it goes. If charging is not going on, then look first of all to determine whether it has stopped working or we have a generator or a charger. We see in our cabin it stops burning, that is, the charging light does not go out. The battery is a Zhiguli, it doesn't have any ammeters, nothing there, no additional devices. The light bulb is stupid. Well, in principle, this is enough, which means the light bulb is on, the car is working, but the light bulb is not. Goes out first thing to decide, or this is a problem with the light bulb relay. Look, it's located here. On the right side of 702 at the top here his number is written 702 number. Well, it won't be visible there. Well, the ones that go on are 527, we don't need them, 2 of them will be low beam, they may differ either from the new one, be a sample or an old one, it doesn't matter. On the NM there should be a number 702, which means Lano is not needed with it running. Cars, it will be enough to remove the terminal. Well, it's better to remove the negative one, of course, but you can remove the positive one, it doesn't matter. And at the same time it will be necessary to turn around electrical appliances and we will see if the car stalls. That means we have a problem. It's not just the light bulbs, it's not just in the relay and somewhere further on. It means that at such a moment many will now write to me, the charging relay will burn out, You can't do that from experience. I want to say yes, I know I read it burns out, but from experience I want to say how many times I personally have. I'm driving and you see this, the electronic relay is now on, our ignition is on. Turn it off. Ignition by Tim Dada. Cool, it doesn't mean look at this electronic. I have a relay from experience. I want to say more than once I've had crashes there. Our roads are good, I drive there, sometimes there are fields. I have to travel, which means more than once my terminal has come off. Battery, I drove and drove for a long time without paying attention. Well, either I was too lazy to stand there or I just didn't notice. That means a relay. Well, a high-quality relay is not afraid of these changes. In principle, I don't care, let's say this, although I don't. I argue when disconnecting, let's say well, one of the terminals from the battery, as I understand it, there are few consumers and although, well, it works. Big well, it seems to me that this is all nonsense, low-quality relays they already burn. They don't even need to be. By manipulations by definition terminal removed car, let's say car. Stalled means that we are left with either a generator or a charging relay, that is, to the generator through. The charging relay should receive current at the excitation circuit, shown here means it will work. The AS is easy enough without even having any diagnostic environments on hand. No testers, no shit. Turn on the ignition, Tim. Turn on the ignition. Here I have a relay in the other direction. Something is wrong somehow. Turned on, Tim, so that means I have a light on the relay, a red light. It will signal that current is flowing. If there is no light bulb we do a very simple thing. They will appreciate the wires we have here and there. They are signed. Well, how important it is, accordingly, this is the entrance we have on this PTM should be plus, it goes straight from the fuse means in order to determine whether there is current here, we take them and close them together. When you close them you see a spark occurs. You see, yes, that is our generator. Well, Current gets to the brush and it turns out, well, the load goes on and we see that's it. Sparks. You can see the spark well. No, I see the camera. Bring it up so you can't see the spark. Yes, you can see it spark. It's normal if we have a spark, even without, say, checking the light bulb, you can immediately understand that the current is going to the fuse. Place, if not, look at the fuse, store it, you can put it no better not. Install it will be necessary to decide what is due to what means one more thing, this wire, this fuse, it goes. So we have lighting in the engine compartment, it goes to this same idle speed sensor well, not a sensor. And the idle jet, accordingly, often simply falls out of the idle jet. The wire is there by hand. SDR it falls on your same collector and shorts it out to positive and accordingly it burns out for you. We put a fuse on piglet and the whole thing burns out, that's the whole point, it burns out. Plus this same plus goes to the float here on this very on shows the amount of brake. You can see the fluid in the tank. It's not even there. It's there, but actually it's not there. Well, actually, I don't need it. Brake fluid is not leaking. Everything has been decided if it is not irid, roughly speaking, or there is. You can take the opportunity there, of course, check it somehow with a control, but if it's on the road, then here's the simplest one. To close with each other means that at some point they say that they can directly connect and get there. The headlights are on. Use the light there as much as possible or heat the stove there because the generator does not output 14 volts, it will output 20 volts and at high speeds it will give out at all so that both the light bulbs and halogens burn out for a day. Accordingly, well, if such a situation happened, in principle, you can close them together with these two wires without. If you want to drive, it will boil out there, keep the RPM at about 2. No need to spin it up to 5,000, it will definitely burn out. Key way to get there is quite realistic. Everything means here checked from here from the second from 67th the current should go come here to the generator on the generator in our Zhigulevsky standard, so there are two wires with mothers well with terminals. Dressing and one more precisely, two more wires are suitable, but they are dressed on a bolt. These two are screwed on to the mothers. One is put on the brushes, you can clearly see it there, so often it flies out. Well, more often than not, it kind of flies off people there. Something climbed into a hole somewhere, some weeds jumped up and flew out. Look carefully, there's a bunch of us. He comes here, of course, everything is sad in terms of crawling in. You can see him, here he is, here he is. Us means that he is the one that is thicker, let's say you can even tell by touch, shoot here. From here my fingers can be seen come on well, let this thicker wire that goes to the generator well, apart from the thickest ones go to the positive side. They take off all that current, which the generator gives us. We don't touch them automatically, although they may fall out there, well, it's unlikely if they rarely check. I don't remember this happening. But these two rickets are quite possible. The thicker one is on the brush. He is passing the excitation current that is thin, he is taking readings from this itself from the generator and the current flows to excite the windings of this same charging relay, respectively, see that. Which one is fat he is important, the second one no 8 the same one the second one which he is in plastic. A plastic one is inserted like this. A plastic tube comes out of the generator, it is inserted into it, it is usually in plastic 2 in a plastic screen 2 and you won't miss it in the plastic one but on the brush it's just with rubber insulator on top, basically everything in the future if you determine that you have a charging relay everything works. Let's say the charging relay works, current goes, rest, goes to the generator. approaches the brushes, but the generator no longer produces. Voltage means the generator is broken. If the current does not reach the charging relay, then the fuse is looking at the charging relay. No current flows from the charging relay, so we look well, the relay does not work. Let's say directly connect, everything works. If we turn on the charging relay, nothing works, so our charging relay is damaged. So there is a breakdown. Maybe only 3 pieces, nothing complicated. I think it's all possible to determine even in the field. In principle, everything is possible. What I wanted to tell you about this topic are these simple actions that need to be performed in order to how can we determine the repair and determine the breakdown of the car's charging system, that is, the generator. Subscribe to the channel, like, write a comment, and all the best.